All right, let's see if this is working. Let's get chat kicked off and good to go. All right, I see delivery to Joe and Bowling Brian already hanging out. Looks like we're live. Love to see it. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are kicked off. We are good to go. Chat is popping up, which is beautiful. We got a lot of people hanging out on the YouTubes already. What is going on? Happy Wednesday to all of you, just beautiful people. Absolutely gorgeous people. We have a lot of messages that are getting spammed our way. We need to post a TikTok quick. Go peep our TikTok if you haven't. Beautiful place. Keith, what's going on? All right. Ooh, Sunny's live too. Nice. All right, we are live. What's going on? Johnny, Ace Site, what's up? What's up? What's up? We got James, we got Average Yo. We got everybody hanging out. What is going on? What is going on? We got a fun one for you today. We got a lot of fun things going on. Let me also kick off our, let's grab that. Let's see, new BELMO ball and USBC Masters. That'll be our thing over on TikTok. Let's go live on TikTok too. James DoorDashing right now. Oh, nice. You're a DoorDasher. That's awesome. That's super cool. Trash Panda over on Twitch. What is going on? We are live on multiple platforms. We're going to be live on TikTok, on Twitch, and on YouTube. I almost forgot all of them. Almost forgot every single one of them. Ace shot a 210 at practice. Nice, nice. Love that. Keith, what's going on? James 3, what's going on? Hey, Mr. Ego is hanging. Love to see it. Franchise, thoughts on the Stealth Hybrid? I saw one on Buddies for 65. That's insane. Go get it. Yes, that ball is really good. And the price alone made me want to buy it. Second, I've seen the Attention Star S2 go on sale. Is it being discontinued? I've had a lot of people hit me up with that. I don't think it is. I think they're just trying to make room for a lot more inventory because I think bowling ball like distributors have way too much stuff on their hands right now. That's why mystery ball sales are doing so well and you're getting a lot of older pieces. I think they just have too much inventory and they need to get rid of things. So no, the S2 is not getting discoed yet. Keith, I have to re-drill my VO because my specs have changed. Is it worth plugging and re-drilling a ball? We're just getting a new. It really depends on how old the ball is, really, because in general, like I know at my shop, we charge, God, what is it total? I think a plug-in re-drill is like 50, if I'm not mistaken, 50 or 60. And that's without grips and stuff. So it is pretty pricey. So really it depends for you, like, is it worth it? Does a ball have a lot of games on it? If it does, I just get new. It's usually a little bit easier. Also, we are now officially live on TikTok. So TikTok chat, what is also going on there? How are y'all doing today? Let me know if things don't look good over on the TikTok side too. Let's see, where are we at? I hit Keith already. Garrett, what's up, Garrett? When I watch the PBA events, it often seems their balls come in light and deflect. Like you don't see a lot of ball changes. They often carry. Isn't the goal to split the 8-9? It is, except the one big thing is when you're on TV, you don't want to switch balls that often because you only have one game. One of the toughest things, like when you're in match play or something like that, the last thing you want to do is make a ball switch because it usually takes you a frame to get lined up. Even if you think where you're supposed to stand, this chance of you missing is still pretty high, which is tough. So that's why you don't see many. And then they usually just try to manipulate the ball instead to make it work. They do the minor changes. They don't do the big ball changes to try to get that reaction. So that's generally why you see that. And that's why they use a fill shot to try to figure out what ball motion that they really want. Let's see. All right, let me know if everything sounds good on TikTok too. It looks like my volume's a little bit high over there, but let me know. Let's see. Gandhi, what's going on? Brian riding Zwift while tuning into ZVL. Love to see it. Panda, I'm looking at picking up a new solid ball to fit between the Evoke and the IQ. You want to be motive. The Lethal Venom's a good option. Otherwise, the Venom Shock is a good option too. Those are going to be your two best bets. Black Venom also is really, really good. So honestly, 3 really good options. Motive is kind of good right now. It's so crazy to say, so crazy to see, because there was a time where Motive was not good. They had like 3 good bowling balls, and that was that. But right now, they are absolutely dominating it right now. I know that Evoke Hysteria is selling like crazy, which is really, really cool. Really cool to see. So that's what I would do, Panda. Kurt, what's up? Kickstand Kurt. Andrew, are you in the Twin Cities? What shop you're at? I am not. I am in southern Minnesota, Owatonna, Minnesota at Champions Pro Shop. I don't have any Champions Pro Shop merch around me, unfortunately, but that is where I am. We also have a shop in Mankato, too. But yes, in the Twin Cities. Come check us out if you haven't. It's a great place. I work on Tuesdays. And I'll be there tomorrow for League, which I found out about an hour ago. Johnny, when you did my arsenal, I forgot to add, I'm a balance bowler. You said I need more mid-smooth, mid-shape with me being balanced. What would you say your choice change? I don't think so. No, I think everybody needs those medium-ish bowling balls. I think it's a necessity, no matter if you're rev dominant, speed dominant, or balance. They're just going to be a different shape or a different strength level. So yes, still recommended. Rod, what's going on? What are your thoughts on detoxing? How many times can you do it before the ball is dead? As many as you want. Detoxing doesn't really hurt the ball at all. Man, I had someone from a Motive, like a giant Motive Facebook group, started sharing a lot of my videos, and now comments are just peppering my personal Facebook up. But let's see, Rod, how many times? You really can do it as many times as you want. It's kind of like resurfacing. As long as you don't have like quick changes in temperature, like you're not going from the you're not going from like heating it up in a detoxer and then bringing it to like 10-degree weather, like that's gonna cause the ball to start dying, but otherwise you're good to go. Whoopsie, didn't mean to hit that. Keith, you're the man. Hey, thanks, Keith. Average Yote wanting to go Motive, looking to get the Jackal Onyx. What would be a good ball down? A good ball down from that, if you want to stay Motive, would be the Lethal Venom. The Motive Lethal Venom will be a really good ball down. All right, we got a lot of people hanging on TikTok right now. Jordan, what's a good storm ball for top of the bag? Something more angular. Top of the bag and more angular. The Equinox is pretty good up there. The Origin otherwise is fantastic, especially if you're a little speed dominant. Otherwise, Attention Star is still awesome. Josh K got gifted the Tour Dynamics and the Ruby. Ooh, use the Radical Conspiracy. So the Dynamics is going to be like a step down from that Conspiracy, and then the Ruby is going to be the weakest ball in your bag by an absolute landslide. Pravat, I sanded my ball finger holes, and now my skid flip is higher than ever, and I don't like it. I sanded my ball finger holes, and now my skid flip is higher than ever. What do you mean you sanded your finger holes? PW, what causes a squash strike? What is a squash strike? Is that an East Coast term? I know there's a couple like East Coast specific terms. A squash is a point awarded to a player when the opponent interferes. What? That's in the actual game of squash. Hold on. Squash strike bowling. Let's see. Did anybody answer or anybody fix my stupidity on here? Because I don't even know what that is. Someone let me know. Is that just is that an actual bowling phrase? I don't know. Squid, I have an Optimum Idol, Black Venom, Equinox, Hustle Rip, Road Warrior, and Phase AI. That's not bad. Not a bad bag. Not a bad bag. All right. We'll use this time. We are going to be talking all things bowling as per usual, as we do every week. But today we can have a nice little focus. There was a teaser for a brand new BELMO ball that is getting announced next week. I believe it's April 2nd or April 4th. I don't remember which. Brand new BELMO ball. This one's weird because it's limited supply, very limited supply. Interesting. And then we have the USBC Masters going on. I actually have it up right now on my other screen. I unfortunately can't show you because otherwise Bowl TV would attack me. I think they're in game 1 of the final squad. I don't know who's actually in right now or who's doing that well. So USBC Masters is happening. There's been a lot of drama, as there always is in the bowling world, about it because you have Sweep the Rack doing their Sweep the Rack thing and not being happy that there are amateurs in the event. So a lot of fun things that we can unpack today. Otherwise, we always have a bowling Q&A, especially about arsenals. We specialize in bowling balls. So any questions you guys have, we're going to hit. Make sure to like the video, like the live stream if you haven't, especially on TikTok. We're at about 100 right now. The more likes we get early, the more this gets pushed out to other bowlers. So just double tap your screen on TikTok, and then this video can get out to a lot of people. Would really appreciate it. But let's get back into all of those lovely, lovely comments. Where are we at? Garrett, how can you tell? Oh, let's start with Ego. Ego, any brand alternative for Zen 25? Radical, no doubt, is kind of close. It's a lot smoother. Otherwise, your next best option is maybe a Primal Rage Evolution is going to be pretty close. Those are going to be your two best bets. The Zen 25 is kind of a unicorn in that sense. It's a little bit different from a lot of other stuff. Also, drink of the day, Mountain Dew Kickstart, because I need a Kickstart right now. I am tired. Garrett, how can you tell if a ball is burning up? This is one of the hardest things in bowling because everything's invisible. So it's sometimes very tough to see. If you're throwing a stronger ball and it's just making a very smooth shape down lane, one way to tell if it's burning up is to ball down a lot. Like ball down 2 or 3 steps to something shiny, try it on the same line, and if it hooks a bunch, then your ball is burning up. Otherwise, it's very hard to see. One other option is to try moving left with the stronger ball to see what its reaction is. If its reaction is better when you throw it in oil, then you know that it was burning up and it wasn't just too weak. But it's a very tough thing to see. You can't really see if it's burning up versus if it's not hooking. One of the tougher parts of bowling. Usually you just have to guess and try to ball down and see what happens. James D, there are a few motive staffers in match play. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen, but it wouldn't surprise me. I haven't seen many crazy scores though. It looks tough out there. It looks really tough out there. Pravat, I opened the finger holes to be a little bigger, and now my skid flip is higher than ever, and I don't like it. Like it's hooking more? Because that's a good sign. That means your hand's actually in it in a better position. But is that what you mean? Squid, Road Warrior, or Phase AI, what would you choose for the bag you just listed? I would always go Road Warrior. Road Warrior is just a better ball for most people. The Road Warrior overall is just eons better than the Phase AI right now for a lot of people. They're similar bowling balls. The Phase AI is weaker than you think, but the Road Warrior is a little rounder off friction, where the Phase AI wants to hook immediately when it sees friction. Absolutely immediately. Trash Panda, about to warm up for League to shoot a 130. Nah, you ain't shooting. You're not shooting a 130. You're good. You'll be way above that. Don't worry about that. Pete, Andrew, Rosemount, so not far off. Might have to check it out. Oh, nice. Awesome. We got Minnesota people in here. Love that. Pete, what temperature for detox? I believe it's 130. 130 degrees is what we all usually go for. Let's see. Adam, what slot does a Black Widow Mania go in a Brunswick list? Yes, I put it in a pinned comment on that video. I believe I had it right above the Theorem is where it ended up going. Right above the Theorem or right below the Vaporize. However, it's a little bit weird where it might actually go a step above the Vaporize. It's an interesting ball. Some people have that ball never hooking. Some people have that ball like hooking super early. So it's really crazy. Chris Vick, what's going on, man? How you doing? Let's see. Matthew, what do you think is the worst ball in modern bowling history? I think the Storm DNA. However, there have been a lot of stinkers. God, what was that one? There was a Columbia ball, Columbia 300, the Dynamic Swing. The Dynamic Swing, I think, is arguably the worst ball ever made in the last like 5 to 10 years. That thing was awful. It did not know what it wanted to do ever. It would either go hook super early and never like puke down lane, or it would go sideways. I saw so many, I've never seen more negative ball reviews from staffers in my life. They'd be like, this ball, it has a purpose. It was wild. That ball was just not good. And a few people I saw actually have them and throw them were like, I can't throw this thing left of second arrow. It's crazy. Very funny. So that sometimes happens. Not much anymore, but a few times it does. Let's see. Gandhi, I would like to add one more ball to my arsenal. You have a hyperdrive, an attention star, a purple, and a Wreckham. Please suggest, 3 options. That's a lot of options, man. I would go like a medium smooth ball, like a rock star, because it looks like you have more storm stuff. I'd go Zen 25, and then I'd go Road Warrior with all of those. Modus, I used to leave my old Brunswick Twisted Fury in my car and bowled every day in the summer. It was sweating and detoxed every day. It's not good for the core. That gives it a chance to actually crack, because the reason a ball cracks is either it absorbs stuff too quickly, something on the outside of the ball absorbs it, or the core shrinks or expands. There's a couple reasons why it happens, why a ball can crack. So the tips I have for you guys, and I need to make a video on this, but it's going to happen soon. The ways that you don't get a ball to crack, like if you leave it on carpet, it will probably crack because carpet will absorb some of the oil in the cover stock. And if that gets absorbed out, if it's too quick, sometimes that ends up causing it to crack. Don't leave it on like wood usually isn't the best either. So quick story time. Back in my hometown, my uncle owned a bowling alley in my town. I didn't bowl till a little bit later, but he had just wooden racks in a back room that I would put my stuff on. And I was having balls crack every 1 to 2 months. One of my like 4 bowling balls would crack on me. It was literally every couple weeks. I would usually have a scare factor of, oh man, is a ball going to be cracked when I go back there? Since then, since I've moved into my own place, have my own ball shells behind me, they don't crack. I haven't had a ball crack in a really long time, knock on wood. Now I'm going to have like 4 of them crack on me. I think the last one was like an IQ Emerald I had. But otherwise, yeah, very few have cracks. So don't put it on carpet, don't put it on wood, and then don't leave it in extreme temperatures and change that temperature really quickly. That'll also cause a ball to crack. So if you have it in super hot temp, bring it to super cold, or super cold and bring it to super hot, probably going to crack. Not 100% of the time, it just boosts the chances at the end of the day. James on TikTok, you have a Theorem, the Atlas, and the Piranha. Not bad, not bad. Mel, can you rate your arsenal? You have an Envy, an Effectuor, an Anger, a Verge, an X-Ray, a Hustle, and a Spare Ball. You don't really have a strong Pearl, Mel. Your strongest Pearl is the Anger, which is not strong at all, so I'd recommend a new one of something else. DD, you need a 3-ball arsenal, Lethal Venom being your strongest. You could just stay Venoms, Lethal Venom, Venom Shock, Hyper Venom, but if you had to actually pick stuff, I would go like Evoke Hysteria and like a Max Thrill Pearl. Let's see, we've got Johnny. Cool, would you go with GB5 or Phase 2 for League? I like the Phase 2 for League a lot better, but the GB5 is also great for every situation. Kuro, using SPI equipment, what's a good arsenal around the Dynamics and the Ruby? So the Dynamics is more of a medium smooth bowling ball, and the Ruby is more of a weak sharp. So just get stuff that isn't in those 2 slots, and you'll be good. Delivery to Joe, you have 2 bowling balls from 0809, a Black Widow Bite and a Black Widow Venom. I have no idea where to rate them. Weak. They're actually probably medium. Like the cores in them never change sizes ever, but the cover stocks are radically different. So I would put them in a medium categories, Joe. Jordan's thinking the Timeless AI. I don't know if they'd bring the Timeless back. I honestly have no idea because it did fine. It didn't do stellar, but it did fine. So I don't know if they'd bring that one back just to try to get hype. I'm not really sure in all honesty. I feel like they're going to try a new core cover combo. And it seems like the time, usually what BELMO does is he tries to like have things in groups of 2. So he'll go like, I forget, it was Timeless Promotion, Trend 1, Trend 2, and then we had Journey and Fate. I actually have a Journey coming very soon. So we're going to see what the next one is. Drew's thinking a High Road AI. That'd be kind of cool. Like another Road Warrior type ball, except like, I could see like a solid Road Warrior is what he's making. That could make sense. Hey, Norman Eagle, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Make sure to follow if you're over on TikTok or subscribe if you're over on Twitch and on YouTube. Right now, we are at 14,794 follows on TikTok. If we can hit 15,000 would be fantastic. YouTube, we're at, I believe, like 7,800 subs, and our goal is to get to 8,000 pretty soon. So thank you guys all so much who are following and subscribing. Steve, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Really appreciate it. We have a lot of bowling content that's coming out every day. Just like today, we talked about the Bowler's Mart mystery balls, where what you're going to get and talking about what you could get versus what you definitely won't get. You probably won't get a motive ball. Surprise there, because they sell out too quickly and they have more limited quantities. Same with Storm. It's probably going to be a Brunswick ball. Very, very good chances it's a Brunswick ball. Kickstand Kurt, my friend was 142 over yesterday and negative 50 today on the burn. He said the spare balls were even hooking. Yeah, when you have that much rev rate on like at a tournament like the USBC Masters, the lanes get fried. It's one of the hardest things that they have to handle out there is how do you put out a pattern that isn't going to be completely torched after 5 games? Fleur, I got the Criterion Hybrid with my mystery box. That would be an awesome, awesome thing. Fleur, did you get it from, did you get them from Bowling World or Bowler's Mart? Those are the 2 big places right now. I got mine from Bowler's Mart, and they were both discontinued balls, recently discontinued. You got it from Bowler's Mart. Okay, that's a really good pull, actually. I'm a little jealous of that because mine both were discontinued, but that Criterion Hybrid just came out a couple months ago. I don't know if it's selling very well. It doesn't sound like it from the people that I've been talking to, but you never know. Sarah said that the DV8 Chill Pearl sold really well too when I said it wasn't. I did check a little bit and it didn't sell that great. Sorry, Sarah. But it's honestly not a bad ball. I threw it a little bit yesterday. It rolls kind of good. Floor, your arsenal is a Criterion hybrid Arctic Vibe and an axe. Oh, that fit really well then. That fits super well for your arsenal. All right. We have Corey. Good afternoon. What's a better ball? The Evoke Hysteria, the Zen 25, or the Onyx for speed dominant? If you're speed dominant, I'd lean towards the Evoke Hysteria or the Jackal Onyx. It depends what you want. You are able to play straighter with the Onyx, but you can play a little deeper with the Hysteria. Bandit, thank you so much for all the gifts. Oh my God. We got a goat. We got a TikTok. We have a chili. We have a heart meat. We have a lightning bolt. We have a cream cone. We have a heart puff. We have a rose. Oh, there are so many. Outlaw Bandit, thank you so much for all the gifts. Really appreciate it. There's corn, skull apple. There are so many gifts. I don't know what any of them mean. I don't know the gifts at all. I have a hat on now over on TikTok. Paul, I've got the strangest Evoke Hysteria. The Motive logo is where the Evoke logo should be and vice versa. Hey, that's kind of cool, actually. I had there's a guy I bowl with on my tournament team. So the Primal Fear was a bowling ball that came out probably about 8-ish years ago from Motive or so, 5 to 8 years ago. And he got a blemish on it where it didn't say Primal Fear. They forgot the bottom part of the R, so it's a Primal Feep. So that is his Primal Feep ball, and it is awesome. Super funny. Will Chua, thinking of shining up the Optimum Idol and adding a rock star. I really like that. I like my Optimum Idol shiny, in all honesty. I think it rolls pretty good shiny compared to dull. Hey, JST Andrea. I'm probably messing up your name. Apologies, JST. How do you compare the Ion Max to the Hyperdrive? They're pretty much on top of each other from what I can tell. I'm really trying to figure out how to justify getting one. So the Hyperdrive is actually hooks later and is a little bit sharper, actually a decent bit sharper than the Ion Max. The Ion Max hooks probably a foot or two sooner. I don't think you need both unless you want to shine the Hyperdrive or shine the Ion Max. Either one would work well, but I wouldn't get both if you want to keep them both at like 2,000 grit. Enoch, Brad, and Kyle seem to have made the cut. Hey, nice. That's awesome. We're going to get some good vlogs then. Let's do it. And my boy, Chris Vi. Nice. And Floor, my husband's arsenal is a Magic Gem, Phase 2, Journey, Scorpion Strike, Arctic Vibe, and a mix. Oh, another Arctic Vibe. Love that. Also, we just hit 100 concurrent viewers. Thank you all so much who are watching over on YouTube. That is awesome. That is super cool to see. But a Magic Gem, a Phase 2, a Journey, a Scorpion Strike, Arctic Vibe. I like it. That's a really good arsenal overall. Let's see. We have Pete. When's the next viewer arsenal video? Sunday, I believe. I believe it's going to be Sunday. I have all the videos for like 2 arsenal guides, but I did not have them edited in time. And I had a lot of videos to go through this week. Like I had to post the Bowler Smart one, talking about Bowler Smart bowling balls. I wanted to post World Series of Bowling because the Masters is already starting. So yes, very, very soon. Garrett, most stuff you watch on adjusting to transition suggesting moving into more oil. I often find myself moving right and squaring up. It kind of depends on your game, Garrett. For a balanced bowler, it's usually better to move left because then you can stay in the same ball. If you move right, you generally have to throw it harder or you have to ball down a lot. So there's a lot of things that you can do different. There's a lot of options. That's a cool thing with bowling is there's no right answer. There's a billion ways that you can adjust to make it work. All right, let's see. We have Smitty. Can I drop my arsenal and get some Rex for the top of my bag? Yeah, absolutely, Smitty. For sure. Floor got the Scorpion Strike from the Bowler Smart Mystery Box. That's an awesome pull. Lost Child, you have a lethal and a shock. Was looking for another ball. I'd get a shiny ball like a Primal Rage. Lost. STJ, I've been noticing a lot of people taking the shine off the Attention Star. So a shiny Attention Star to me is just a little too long and angular for most patterns. If you have a pattern that has a lot of friction like a house shot, I'd keep it shiny. But if you want to bowl on a sport shot, I'd recommend dulling it just a little bit. Matt Sickmond, my only ball is a Blue Fire. I want something stronger. How do I know which ball would be best? So the Tundra Blue Fire is a weak and sharp bowling ball. If you want something a little stronger, go with a medium and sharp ball. Some options are like the Scorpion Strike, the Road Warrior or the Zen 25, the IQAI, the Primal Rage Evolution, things like that. Kickstand Kurt, I put my bowling balls in 2.5 gallon Ziploc bag. Seem to do the trick for not cracking. Yeah, there's actually there was a guy who went to Wichita who made these bags that keep them in a good fashion. I don't remember what they were or anything, but he tried starting a business off of it. I don't know if he does it anymore. I've seen them a few times. They're a cool idea. They keep them temperature controlled basically, which is nice, especially when you live in like a really cold state like the frozen tundra that I'm in for Minnesota. Let's see. Gandhi Evoke Hysteria is a transition ball. Kind of. It's not really the best fresh bowling ball. It can be on house shots, but like a sport shot, not at all. It's just a little too shiny. It is one of the better fresh shot pearl bowling balls on the market, though, in my opinion. 619, I need a new ball between your Zen and your Hammer 3D. Any suggestion? Picks up a little bit earlier without a big flare at the end. You're going to want to go like a medium smooth ball, like a Stealth Mode, a GB5, maybe a Phase 2, or a Rockstar. Michael McSmith, if anyone is looking for an NV Tour, it's in stock on Buddies for 130. Really? Might be seeing me hit up Buddies quick. Lost Child was thinking of going Brunswick brands for a shiny ball outside of your 2 motive. Yeah, Brunswick has some of the sharper equipment on the market right now in terms of like down lane reaction. They are very, very angular. Kyle Hawkins, I go Proton Physics, Magic Gem, Infinite Physics, and Jump IQ Tour. Oh, nice. That's not a bad play. STJ, you plan on bowling a lot of sport patterns. What would I dull it down to what? I would say like 2 to 3,000. 2 to 3,000 and you'll be good. That's usually what I like. If I'm dulling a pearl ball, I like to go to like 3,000 first and then maybe bring it down to 2,000 if I want super dull. If I don't want that dull, then I won't go that far. All right, we got a lot of people hanging out today. That is fantastic. Love to see it. Love to see all of that. Let's see. Gandhi, let's see. Best shiny balls in the current market. Right now, the Origin is one of my personal favorites. The Criterion Hybrid looks really good. The Vaporize is still fantastic. Scorpion Strike is awesome. Zen 25 is the GOAT. Road Warrior is still really good. And then the Primal Rage is awesome. And the Evoke Hysteria is good. There's a lot of really good shiny bowling balls on the market right now. A lot of really good shiny balls. Garrett, how would you compare the Pure Envy versus the Offset Assault? The Pure Envy is going to be a little bit stronger, I believe. Not much. They're almost the same bowling ball at the end of the day, so I wouldn't have both of them. I wouldn't try to get both. All right, let's keep catching up. Adrian, my arsenal is a Reality and Eternity, Zen Soul, Zen, Hustle Camo, and Pitch Black. You don't really have a... Actually, you do. No, that is a really well-rounded arsenal, actually, Adrian. I think you're good. Hey, Theo, what's going on? New BELMO ball. Yes. So Storm, the last like week or so, has been teasing a new BELMO ball. First one was just like showing clips of BELMO for hype and like saying ball coming soon, things like that. But now they posted that it's going to be a limited quantity bowling ball. So it's going to be a limited supply release, kind of like what Motive does for their EJ bowling balls to try to garnish sales, because right now they don't get all that many sales on a lot of the BELMO stuff because they price it a little bit higher. So the Journey didn't sell well at all. That thing sold super poorly. The Fate did better, but it wasn't really well liked. Also, thank you, Theo, for the follow. So what they're trying to do is get a page from Motive's book where you make it limited supply. But what that means is, as you saw with the EJ Venom, which is still, I think, is being produced, limited supply really means once they notice sales start to do this too much, they just pull it and then they don't have to like discontinue it. They can just say, oh, it was limited supply. So that'll be interesting to see how it does. I haven't heard much about the ball. I don't know anything really about it. Usually I have a viewer or two shoot me something of like, hey, this is the ball coming out. But so far I haven't had anything about it. There was a Typhoon that was on the USBC approved list from Storm. I don't know if that's it or not. It might be, but we'll see. Also, Haas, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. So it'll be really interesting. I'm excited to see what that ball is. I want to believe that if BELMO makes the USBC Masters show, as he usually does, I bet we're going to see it on the show no matter the pattern. I bet he'll throw it at least for a minute just to show it off a little bit, because this is the biggest tournament that's happening for a little while. So Honestly, I could see it. It'd be kind of cool. Let's see, Jordan. Just a guess. The demo vid had an hourglass emoji. Oh, I didn't really look that closely into it. You're not wrong, Jordan. You're not wrong at all. Huh, that's interesting. Cody, what ball should I get to use a strong ball from the Jackal? Your second strongest is an Origin. I need my Jackal ambush is too strong for a house shot. You're going to want to go like with an Evoke or a Rotogrip XL or even like a Rockstar or a Phase 2. You'll be good. Eric, Eric M on TikTok. I wanted to upgrade from a TNT. Your low rev and average speed, go with a Rockstar. It's just overall better than a TNT. A lot better. Dan Tippett, what type of balls are working at Nationals for speed dominant righties, strong and slow? Nationals, everything I've seen so far is the slower the equipment, which means the smoother it is, the better it is. So Greg Thompson Jr. Just shot 300 and 800 with his purple hammer, playing up like 5 to 7, it looked like, and just chucking it, absolutely chucking it. So that seems to be a good play if you have some revs, but if you don't, you're going to want stuff that's really slow down lane. Angular stuff is not the play it looks like this year. Angular stuff is not good at all, and it generally isn't at Nationals, but you're going to want like Ion Pros. You're going to want like Lethal Venoms. You're going to want Ion Maxes. Things like that are going to be really, really good for you. That's what it looks like at Nationals right now from everything that I've heard and seen. I haven't gone yet, but I've talked to a lot of people that have. I've watched a lot of videos of people, and overall, the more up the back of it you are, the better it'll be. Corp Cat over on TikTok. Super quick ball question. You have an S2 and a spare ball. An opinion on a third ball. I'd go with something shiny like a Road Warrior. Road Warrior, or if you want to go similar reaction to the S2, but weaker, go with a Summit Ascent. I think those would be two great options. Let's see, James. I have the mindset and I loved it, but I need a new one to replace my Piranha. My old one chipped really bad. It's not even worth fixing. If you're looking at the OG mindset, your best option right now, is there one? Criterion's a little too strong. Criterion Hybrid's a little too sharp. Man, there really isn't much in that slot right now from the Brunswick brands. That's like what an Evoke is. Nah, not even an Evoke, though. Doesn't really work. It's like what a Physics Blackout is, or like the 3D Offset Assault. Honestly, the 3D Offset Assault is probably going to be your closest option, James. Probably going to be closest. Christopher Hyman, greetings again from good old Germany. What is your educated guess on what kind of ball it'll be? So BELMO doesn't do ASIMs. He's throwing them more and more, but all of the balls he's released have been symmetrical. So we've had very weak symmetricals and then stronger symmetricals. I could see him going back to a weaker symmetrical ball, especially to fit with what Storm has in their lineup right now. Storm has a lot of ASIMs. They don't have that middle to lower tier covered that much. They have the new IQ and the new Road Warrior, but on the smoother side, they don't really have much. So I could see something being in that slot. That would be my guess. Let's see, Gage. Thoughts on the older Venom Toxin? Not good. The old Venom Toxin and like the old Venom balls that weren't Venom Shocks were not good at all. They did not roll very great. They were very smooth and slow. Loki. It wasn't my chamois. I think the Origin stopped hooking because it's oil absorbed or lane shine. I would recommend trying to clean the ball then, try to resurface it, bring it to like 2000 and see what it does. And Glass RB Joe, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Johnny A, if I did the mystery ball, you think I would get a mid smooth? Maybe. I got strong sharp and weak sharp. If you do Bowling World, I did have somebody comment. It's kind of interesting. Bowling World for $10 extra, you can recommend a ball or ask for something. Like you can give them your specs and your arsenal and they'll try to fit something. But the person that I talked to that did it got a Pink Widow. So I don't know if it sounds like they give out urethane, which is weird. So I'd be a little careful about that. A little bit careful. Vision. I've not seen much of the Hammer sponsored guys throwing actual hammer balls. Why is that? A lot of the hammer balls are really made for house shots. The effect is not that great on sport shots. The effect tour is. You'll see the effect tour quite a bit. Otherwise, like a lot of the big smooth stuff is from other companies, like the Mesmerize or the Criterion or things like that. Those are from the other companies, whereas Hammer has a lot of everything, but there's a little more, it seems like it rolls better for house shots. So That's what I've seen from them lately. Adrian on TikTok, what can I upgrade from my Eternity, Reality, Zen Soul, or Zen from the middle of the bag? I mean, Zen Soul and Zen are the middle of your bag, so you'd have to get rid of one of those. Rockstar would be the closest thing to a Zen Soul, and the Zen 25 is the closest thing to the Zen. See, Chris Vick, what do you think about the Rotogrip Hypercell? The OG Hypercell was really, really cool. Really good bowling ball. That's what the XL was trying to be with a weaker cover on it. But the Hypercell was one of the best balls that Rotogrip ever made. The Cell series in general is by far and away one of their best series. Smileys, I have an Ebonite Crusher, the purple one. That is the hybrid. That is the shiny one, the sharper one. Hyperdrive, Sublime Focus, Snapshot, Torpedo Directed, a lot of balls. Holy cow. Should I look into anything else? Crusher, Hyperdrive, Focus, Snapshot. Not really. You have a lot covered, actually. You have pretty much every category covered. Do I not have tissues in here anymore? Really? My nose is runny, though. What the heck, Zach? Why you do? Oh, I do. Let's go. Let's go. I'll go off screen for a minute. All right. My nose is just a little bit runny all day today, and I have no idea why. I really hope I'm not getting sick. That would be very, very sucky. Ralph Ruiz, you're redoing your 6-ball bag. You have an Ion Max in Equinox, an Ion Pro, and a Road Warrior. Which 2 balls should I finish up? Ion Max, Equinox, I would go like a Rockstar or a Phase 2, and then something between the Equinox and the Road Warrior. So like a Zen 25 really fits well there. And Johnny Ego, hit that like button, everybody. Yes, go spam the like button if you haven't. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, unfortunately, there's no like button, but everybody else, I'd really appreciate if you can go hit that like button. That helps me a ton. Let's see. James, I'm a high rev on top of that if it makes it ever because I was looking at a Rockstar or Motive. Yeah, no, I think I'm a high rev on top of that. On top of that, if it makes it ever because I was looking at a Rockstar. Yeah, that's okay. That still fits. James White, we are not that cold. We're not that cold. Oh, what is the movie where they chant we're not that drunk? Oh, that was a Beer Fest. Great movie. Terrible movie, but great movie. Go watch it. Joe, in regard to these two balls, pause. I asked you about, what would you say, medium smooth or medium sharp? Let me scroll back up, Joe, to find where your first comment was. Oh boy. Let's see. Black Widow, Vite, and Venom. I honestly don't know which is which. I know one of them's shiny, but you're gonna have to look up the specs of those and see which one is you're gonna have to look which one is a pearl. If it's a pearl, it's in that medium sharp class. Will Chua, what would you be the equivalent of the step 2 compound? There really isn't one. I would say like just 2000 grit. 2000 grit is pretty much what that is. And where are we at? We got Bree. Just got an Equinox. What should I get next? Nice. That is awesome. I would go like a ball down from it, like a Road Warrior from Storm. It'll be a step below it. It'll be longer and sharper. Wally Witherspoon. Almost said Walleye Witherspoon. What do you think about two-handed bowling? I'm not a big fan. I am all for any way to bowl. I see two-handed bowling being easier to get good at and harder to be great at. Where one-handed, I see the opposite. It's harder to be good at one-handed bowling. It's easier to be great at it, which is kind of, it's a little bit weird. It takes a lot of explanation, but in my opinion, like if you have somebody throw two-handed, they'll be good at it probably fairly quickly. One-handed, you have a lot more to get used to, but for two-handed, it's hard to be great at it. It's hard to get to that top level, where one-handed, it's a little easier to get to near that top level. So that is my rec. That is my opinion. James, I messed that up. Typo was not paying attention. No, all good. Adrian, what about an idle? Would that work too, or is it too strong? I think that's a little too strong for you, Adrian. Let's see, Big Mike Basil, is there a storm ball that sits between the Ion Pro and the Max? Yes, there are a ton of bowling balls that fit between the Ion Pro and Max. Rockstar, Phase 2, Sublime Focus, Rotogrip XL, a lot of bowling balls that fit there. And James D, I'll be getting the Max Thrill Solid soon. I'm thinking about drilling it the same as my Shock. My top thrills are drilled 4x35. Is that a good way to go? Yeah, if you're getting a Max Thrill, drill it just like your Venom Shock. And Marcus Kaiser, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What's our next ball to come out from William? So We know for a fact that it's going to be a BELMO ball from Storm. I don't know if there's other companies like Global or Roto who's going to drop something. I could see Global dropping a new ball with the BELMO ball, so have a 2-for-1. Storm, though, this year has really wanted to release like one at a time. It's kind of interesting. Like they had the IQAI released individually, the Hyperdrive released individually. I think the Zen 25 released with the Level, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it did. But then another ball, I think, released individually. Now, Brunswick brands, we have Columbia already said that there's a new throwback ball, of course, coming back. I apologize. It's very hard for me to hide my meh feeling towards Columbia having all of these remake bowling balls. Like, they're very mid. They're very, very mid all the time. So not that excited. I think Track has a new ball coming out, though. So that should be pretty cool. They released a few teasers of just Brunswick's not good way of teasing a bowling ball, which is like you have random pro that nobody knows holding a ball and saying a new one's coming, and then they just black out the ball. Like, it doesn't really boost hype. We just now know that you're going to release a ball in the next couple weeks. Motive, I've heard nothing. No idea what what Motive's coming out with. I'm always excited for Motives. However, they don't really tease a bowling ball. They just kind of like, boom, there you go. Here's a ball. See what you want to do with it. So I have no idea. I have no idea what it could be. Let's see. Hank Golfer. How will I know when to use surface on a house shot? If your ball is not hooking, if your ball is just coming in way too light to the head pin, one option could be more surface. So if your ball is just not hooking too early. So if you want your ball to hook a little earlier, be a little smoother, be a little rounder, and to get it to come into the pocket a little higher, that would be using a little bit of surface. Michael McSmith, question for TV. The two most popular balls I've seen is the Evoke Hysteria and the Stealth. When I go to League, I don't see them being thrown, but I will see 7 new Storm balls. Storm balls are overall marketed better. At the end of the day, bowling balls, just like everything else in the world, is all about marketing. The best product isn't always the one that sells the most. The pros, for example, adore the stealth mode because it is the perfect sport shot ball. It's slow, it's smooth, it's continuous. It's what the old Rotogrip Idol was. It's just consistent. Evoke Hysteria is a unicorn. I think the Evoke Hysteria is one of the best balls of the year so far. That ball rolls awesome for a lot of people. It's a pearl that isn't too angular down lane. That's very hard to find for ASIM pearls. It's like a Zen. It reminds me of the Zen with a different colorway. That's exactly what the Evoke Hysteria is. It's the OG Zen. The problem is Storm has had a really good reputation of being skid snap and being really angular, and people love angle down lane. They adore seeing their ball go sideways. I mean, that's what we all like to see at the end of the day. It is fun to see. Just a ball being slow and smooth and leaving a lot of 10 pins, not that great. Also, Storm balls usually in the past were brighter and the smells were cool and they were on TV more. So people always got Storm, and people don't really switch their brands that often. Even League bowlers, like a lot of them don't venture out that often to other brands. It's just how people are. You find a brand, you like it, and you stick with it. So that's why you don't see that's why you're seeing so many new Storm balls on the shelf compared to that. Storm is also really good at marketing towards League bowlers, where Brunswick never really has been. So TLDR, Storm's marketing 10 times better. Doesn't mean their bowling balls are better. To some people, yes. To others, not as much, but that's really why. Luna Woona. Ain't no way they hitting a FOMO with bowling balls. Oh, they will. They 100% are. Yes. There are about 80 that come out every year. There is always FOMO. Polar Bear Chad, you have a Hyperdrive, a Zen 25, and an Ion Pro and a spare ball. Is it a good league lineup? Actually, yes. It's a really good league lineup. Very, very good. Shannon Kirby, thanks for all the information. Oh, of course, Shannon. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. We're here to get as much information to as many bowlers as possible. That is one of the worst parts with the bowling industry. It's very hard to get information. So that's what we're here for. Give you guys as much information as we can. As we are I should backtrack for anybody new here. Welcome. You're looking beautiful today. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't. That would really help you out a ton. That would help me out a ton. It's a win-win. But we are not on staff with any company. We are not. We try to avoid any kind of bias towards any certain companies, whether it be bowling shoes, bowling balls, bowling jerseys, bowling bags, anything like that. We have no sponsors. That is how we do the channel. So There is as little bias as possible. This is one of the few bowling channels in the world you're going to see that doesn't actually have bias behind it. But let's keep getting into it. I see Andrew Lenzi with a Black Widow 2.0 hybrid, a Summit Ascent, a Black Venom, a Venom Shock. What would be a good option for the top of the bag? You're going to want, I wouldn't go Black Venom or Venom. Oh, that's what you have. I would go Onyx or a Stealth Mode. Jackal Onyx or a Stealth Mode will be the best play. Let's see. Gandhi, can Hysteria play in burn conditions? Sometimes, yes. If it's a little bit shinier, absolutely. It's a little bit shinier, at 100% can. All right, let me scroll up. We have a lot of comments over on TikTok right now. Hello there, guys. TJ the Activist, do you like the criteria on hybrid? I do. I do. It's very, very angular, though. One of the more angular balls in the market today. That thing goes absolutely sideways. Marcus Kaiser, good replacement for the 900 global reality check. Physics Blackout is going to be your best bet. Physics Blackout is going to be the closest one. Ryan on TikTok, do you think an attention star is a step up from an IQ AI? Yes, 100% it is. Maybe 2 steps up even. James, at my bowling alley, there's lots of motive and deviate that's thrown. Okay, okay. That, and it depends on the area too. Like where I'm at right now, there's no Brunswick staffers in the area that bowl leagues around me. There's 0. There's just a couple storm staffers. So what happens is those storm staffers can't sell their bowling balls. Like staffers can't sell their balls to you. If they are, it's very, very against their contract, and they probably will get terminated soon. What they can do is give out their bowling balls. So then you have a lot of people throwing that bowling company's equipment. So that's why you see a lot of that too. Staffers are usually pretty good with that, or used to be. Not as much anymore. Now it's about social media on how to buy bowling balls, and that's why we're here, to help you guys make good choices. Only in bowling. I can't help you make good choices in life. I'm really sorry about that. Walt, Belmo has a new ball coming out. Yes, Belmo has a new ball being announced next week. It's either next Wednesday or Friday. They have a video coming out of what the new ball is going to be. It's going to be a limited quantity bowling ball. We know nothing else besides that it's limited quantity. So you have to go to your pro shop to pre-order it or order it online before they are gone for good. Now, you'll be able to get a lot of them. Don't worry about that. They're not going to sell out and be gone for good. That's not really how they're going to operate. If the ball is selling, they want to sell more of them. So they're going to keep making them. So do not worry about that. But yes, new Belmo ball coming soon, which is cool. Joel, I don't think it's a Typhoon because the Typhoon is black and purple. Oh, okay. And the demo video looks like it has lighter colors. Interesting. I forgot that the Typhoon has a picture online, which is kind of cool. And for the record, the way we're seeing that is from USBC has an approved ball list. So for a bowling ball to get bought, to get purchased, and to actually be sold, it needs to be approved by the USBC. So they have to check like hardness and the differential, RG, all the basics to make sure the ball is not illegal. So when a ball gets put on the approved list, that means USBC tested it and it's good to go. And that's usually a way to tell what new balls are coming out soon. Very cool way, actually. I have an Ion Max, a Beyond Infinity, a Rockstar, an AI, and a Rhino. Any recommendations? You actually have the top 4 categories of what we usually have covered, so you're good. Mika, I might have missed the question, but what teaser did you bring regarding Belmo's ball? So the teaser is Belmo ball teaser. Oh, yeah, that makes it. Yeah, no, Storm had 2 teasers go live. 2 teasers go live. So there was a Storm Typhoon that was announced. That might not be the bowling ball that Belmo is having, but the ball is limited quantity. Don't fret though. That's like the big information I can give. They haven't actually posted that, but it's not like they have 100 of them and then when they're gone for good. No, you'll have time to buy it. Don't worry about that. They're trying to hit the FOMO. They're trying to hit the limited quantity thing pretty hard, which is fair. That's what sales are at the end of the day. That's how a lot of companies get by. That's the McDonald's McRib, in all honesty. The McRib sucks. I will die on that hill. I will fight anybody over that. But because it's limited quantity, people go buy it. Conrad Noonan, thoughts on the Hammer Obsession Tour? Really good bowling ball. It's basically what the Effect Tour is. It's an old version of the Effect Tour. Gandhi, why do players need a medium bowling ball? So bowling ball, there's a bunch of phases. It's like golf clubs where you have a driver, you have a 3-wood, you have a 5-iron, you have them all doing different things. And that's how bowling is. So you need that bowling ball that's a step below your driver, but you need a ball that's a step above your pitching wedge is basically what it is. So that is what a medium bowling ball is there for. Usually it's the most versatile ball in your bag too. Big Mike Basil. Is there a storm ball that sits between an Ion Pro and an Ion Max that's a pearl ball? Yes, actually quite a few of them. Origin, you have Attention Star, you have Zen 25, you have Phase AI, you have a ton of bowling balls in there too, Big Mike. Ton of bowling balls there. Cody Miner, I have a new blue, a Phase AI, a 3D offset, and a purple Slammer. Should I get anything different? It's a pretty good start to an arsenal. Absolutely pretty good start to an arsenal. So I don't think so, Cody. Let's see. We have Garrett. What company would you say has the best lineup top to bottom right now? If you had to pick one, like I'll put them into the 3 categories of Storm products, so Storm, Roto, Global, all 7 Brunswick brands, and Motive. I would say right now, today, I would go Motive has the best well-rounded, and then Storm, and then Brunswick. Brunswick's big black eye is they don't have any weak and smooth bowling balls. They just have no weak bowling balls, really. Storm is kind of in the same boat. They have a few more, but not that many. Motive has it all. Motive has a little bit of everything. So that is my opinion right now. Storm is pretty close to Motive right now, though, in that sense. See, Walt, do you think the Belmo ball will be the Deviate Troublemaker since that was made for 2-handers? I don't think Storm goes that way. I don't think they say this ball is made for 2-handers. I don't know if it's the best marketing, and right now, and the one thing Storm is, so it's a very interesting thing with all the ball companies is how do they compare themselves to others? So Brunswick was really the first one to showcase this. If you guys remember, it was years and years ago. Phil over on Radical Bowling, Phil and Mo had a video where they actually, for the first time ever, you saw a ball comparison between companies, which bowling ball companies don't really do, but that was like the first low blow that Brunswick ever did. And that was comparing the Venom Shock to, I think it was like the Rattler at the time or something, and then comparing that to like an IQ Tour. And I think the biggest phrase that got memed on was Mo or Phil saying the Venom Shock doesn't continue through the pins, whereas the Radical Rattler does. And the Venom Shock is like the greatest ball ever. So that was one of the low blows that they did where they compared balls. But other than that, like Storm didn't do anything about that. They didn't have any clapbacks, and Storm usually will avoid trying to like even getting close to copying another company. Like they'll do it in subliminal ways, but they won't make it obvious. And if they come out and say this ball is made for 2-handers, everyone's going to come out and say, well, you're just copying Deviate. So I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they'll go that way at all. Let's see. Dead Palmers, if you watch the Belmo teaser, Storm posted, you can see an MB mark. I'm assuming it's the first ASIM ball. If there's an MB mark, then it's definitely an ASIM. Huh. That'd be kind of cool, actually. We've never seen a Belmo ASIM ball. I was just mentioning that earlier in the stream, actually. Hey, Too Tall Bowling. We got our Tall Bowling Club hanging out. What would be a good replacement for my wife's OG Envy Solid? Criterion? Probably is your best bet. Track Criterion. Kickstand Kurt, Rash was throwing the new breast cancer ball. Really? I think that was a lock. That was a shiny lock. If you guys remember the lock from a long time ago, they had the lock, the Sherlock, and the Snap Lock. Snap Lock, that's what it was. And this is basically just an OG lock, but with pink on it. And I don't think it has AI. It might have AI Core Tech, actually, too. Zool, I am very behind over on YouTube right now. Apologies. I'm 18 minutes behind, so I'm going to fly through some of these comments quick. But first of all, thank you guys all who are hanging out right now. Make sure to follow or subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to like the video. Helps me out a ton. We have a ton of awesome bowling content coming out. We have the most viewers we've ever had on YouTube. Thank you all so much. We have a lot of stream left. TikTok, we've had a ton of people hanging out too. Thank you all out there. Keep asking your questions. I will hit every single one. Do not worry about that. I'm just a little bit behind. But we are going to fly through a couple of these and get back in track. Zool has an older Phase 2, looking to get something to replace it. Would a Rockstar be a good replacement? Yes. Otherwise, another Phase 2. Luna Woona, Bowling World typically is better for my mystery stuff. Got a Crusher Hybrid after it came out, the Black Widow Mania, and the Hitter Pearl, and a Super Cuda. Okay, Bowler World seems better. That's what I've heard from a lot of people, that Bowling World is more recent bowling balls and Bowler's Mart is the discontinued stuff. Dead Polymer's got a Bowling World mystery ball, and it's a dark side. Wow, that's a really good pull at the end of the day. That is a brand new bowling ball. Delivery to Joe, appreciate the info for sure. Kaizen, currently have an M&M, and a Scent, and an Outer Limits Solid. What are some suggestions to fill in the gap? I would go a Pearl Ball. You need like a medium or strong Pearl Ball, like an Attention Star or a Zen 25, or even like a Theorem or a Black Widow Mania. Balrog, hey, what's going on, Balrog? Where do you think the IQ AI sits? Luke's review is a little bit not accurate to us. It's accurate, but I think it's a little bit exaggerated. I've seen the ball a lot. It is not that sharp as he shows it is, but it is a medium sharp bowling ball for sure. Medium sharp. It is not the sharpest ball on the market though. Gandhi, can I make my Attention Star shiny to work on burn conditions? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's transition ball. Depends on the company. Road Warrior is really good. Scorpion Strike is a great transition ball. Primal Rage is amazing transition ball right now. So you have a lot of options. Ego, Wife is slow and straight bowler. What would you recommend for a ball to start hooking? Definitely go with a Rhino or a Tropical Surge. Serrano Bowling with the IQ AI be a good option if I take the polish off for later in the block. Yes, it would. Absolutely. Kickstand Global, I hope comes out with the Origin Solid. I would love an Origin Solid. I think that would roll really good. Rod, do you think the balls have a life with so many games in them, or can they last forever? They cannot last forever. They do have a shelf life where the cover stock just starts giving away. It's about 4 to 5 years before a bowling ball like starts slowly, not disintegrating, but like it starts fading more and more and more. So yes, every ball does have a life on it. Scott Weisner going to Nationals for the second time. You have the Envy Tour Pro, Vapor Zone, and picking up a Black Hammer. That's a pretty good start. I think you could have a couple extra bowling balls, but I think that's a good way to go there. Let's see. I see James over here. What hybrid ball do you recommend for high rev bowling? I don't like looking at it with high rev bowling balls, or sorry, with hybrid bowling balls. Hybrids are either solids or pearls at the end of the day. That's how they react. They aren't, of course. They're a mixture of both, but they either act like a solid or act like a pearl. So for high rev, you're going to like weaker hybrid balls, like an Ion Pro might be really good for you. Scott Weisner, we hit. Dondrick Ray, I haven't seen the Evoke Hysteria look great on many people's reviews, but it looks amazing on tour. Really? That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, reviewers are so tough. There are so few of them, and they all do very odd things at the end of the day. Like, I don't know, bowling ball reviews, I'd love to make a video on, but I would probably get blacklisted from the community. They are very iffy at best a lot of the time. They're very short. They're very biased. They're very specific to the person. So it's a little bit tough. I like seeing how it did on tour more than I like watching a couple ball reviews. So I don't know. I don't know about that. That it's really up to the person though. Really up to the person. Average Yoda, a lot of people locally are big Motive fans. Awesome, awesome. James 3, do you have any thoughts on shoes? SST8 versus racers? Get the cheaper ones. I don't like the racers. I really don't like the racers. They're a little too pricey for me. Conrad Noonan, thoughts on the Hammer Obsession Tour we hit? C Lance, what's going on? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Chan, I have a new strategy for buying balls. Wait a year till they go on sale. Absolutely. 100%. It's a way to get cheaper bowling balls. Get last year's balls. They always are on sale. There are always cheaper bowling balls out there. Garrett, what's a good ball down from an NV Tour? You're going to want to go like a Hammerhead, honestly. The Hammerhead would be a good one. Bowling Brian, a video on shoes would be nice. I should talk about those. That is a good idea. Let's see. We have Kai over on TikTok. I have a Tropical Surge for my first ball, and I'm thinking of getting a Black Widow Mania. It's going to be a lot stronger. Heck of a lot stronger than your Tropical, but if you want to really get into bowling, I think that's a good play. I think that's a good play at the end of the day. Jared Grigg on YouTube. Any good bowling ball comparison tools? Looking for a ball just like my C300 Eruption? Almost none. The options, in my opinion, are 10-pin toolkit. My channel is one of the better ones. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of the older equipment on our channel, but otherwise Bowling This Month has a really cool tool. You have to go to like, I think Bowling Ball Reviews and then compare selected bowling balls, and they have their own review process that works really well. Sealands, I'm not seeing too much Radical over here. I don't see much Radical really anywhere in my area right now either. They're a little more niche than you'd expect. I think they're a little more East Coast. Let's see. Chris Vick, know anywhere that has 4 or 6 ball bags? That is hard to find. You're going to find 3 ball bags everywhere, but 4 and 6 is much more difficult to find. Much, much more difficult. I don't really know where the best places are. Your pro shop can order them, but they're going to be really pricey. Really, really pricey. Bradley Boger. You have the Jackal Onyx, the Hyper, and the Black Widow. What would you replace for the 2.0? I'd get something weaker like a Hammerhead or a Venom Shock or like a Rockstar from Rotogrip. All right, let's see. Dan Tippett, you're lower rev and speed dominant. You're bringing Gemin XL and Idle Solid in phase 2 for double singles. Nice call. I like it a lot. Garrett is a new Belmo ball, even a big deal. Tackett is his daddy. Ooh. I mean, Taggett's 2-0 on TV against him. I don't know. I think if Belmo won the World Series or wins the Masters, it's going to be the greatest marketing ever. That is probably part of the reason that Storm is releasing the ball now. Because if Belmo wins one of those events, look out. That is going to sell so much. James D, today's sports pattern is a PWBA Rockford Open. 44 feet, 3-1, 27 mils. Prides or Tridents? Go Tridents because it's a little longer of a pattern. Alex, Belmo ball is more about the cool factor. True. Alex, all Motive did was barely modify a Venom Shock for EJ. They modified the Venom Shock and they modified the Sigmas. It's all they did, but it was going to work because those cores have done well in the past. So I think it was a smarter play than making something radically different, but they kind of tried doing that for Jason stuff too. Jason stuff does roll well at the end of the day. My Fate wasn't great. A lot of people love the promotion. The Timeless was all right. The Journey was actually pretty well liked. It just didn't sell well, which is sucky. I will have a Journey preview coming very soon. I think I have one coming tomorrow. I was able to find a fully plugged one for really cheap. I also found a Physics Tour for cheap, so I'll have a Physics Tour preview coming soon. Swaggy, what kind of ball do you think it'll be? I think it's going to be weaker, but now that somebody did mention it could have a mass bias on it, it might be an ASIM. Might be an ASIM. James D, McRib does suck. Thank you so much. It does. It's awful. The McRib is terrible. Like other limited time things, Shamrock Shake, Starbucks, pumpkin spice stuff. I'm a white girl in that way where, yes, I think it's really good. Shamrock Shake, absolutely fire. McRib, terrible. Throw it in the garbage. Let's see. All right. We're almost caught up on the YouTube side. We're going to catch up quick, and then we'll get back to you, TikTok. Don't worry. We'll be back in a little bit. Charmaine, how do you compare the effect to the special effect? The special effect is a little bit earlier, but a lot smoother. A lot smoother than the OG. Gandhi, 5 goat balls as per you. Phase 2, High Road, IQ, Venom Shock. I'd go OG Jackal. I'd go Jackal in there. Or Black Widow. Black Widow. Pick whatever Black Widow you want. Jess V. Track just tied to a new ball. Any guesses? I have no idea, honestly. I have no idea because their teaser just wasn't... It didn't tell us anything, so I don't really know what they're going to go with. It's always tough. But I like Track a lot. I like Track's equipment right now. I think it's really good. So I'm excited to see what it is. I can see it being like a medium shiny ball. Black Star Piece. Which ball would you choose to go after? Primal Rage, Vibo, or Revenant? I like the Primal Rage best, then the Vibo, the Revenant last. Dylan, where would you put a Method Solid? Strong Smooth. Strong Smooth. Malachi, I have a Tropical Surge for my first ball, and I'm thinking about getting the Black Widow Mania. Yeah, we hit that one. Average Yote, how do you decide when you should throw a Pearl versus Solid? I always throw Pearls at the beginning of the day because I like having smoother shapes. But if you want more, if you need angle on your bowling ball, then go with a Pearl ball. If you want to play a little left and you want to see your ball go a little more sideways, then do that. If you're leaving a lot of flat corner pins, you're probably going to need a Pearl ball. James D, what game are they in right now for the Masters? They are in... That's not right. I'm going to have to refresh. Bowl TV pauses in weird spots. Oh, what is going on with this camera, dude? They're in end of game 2 right now. End of game 2 at the moment. And we have... Yeah, it's a terrible camera that they're using right now. No one's really doing great on the main pair. It looks like Paul Smith is 432. It's plus 32 after 2. Good job, Paul. Garrett, have you heard of the Bowling Ball Arsenal app? I have not. I don't know. I've never heard of that at all, actually. All right. We are pretty much caught up. Yes. All right. TikTok. We were not missing you. We will get back. Here we go. James from TikTok. I was just looking at that not long ago. How does the Ion Pro react? The Ion Pro is super smooth, so it's not going to be too angular or jumpy for you, even as high revs. Bob Sakal, what's a stronger ball, Pure Envy or Ion Max? Ion Max by probably about 3 feet. Tanner Upchurch. I haven't bowled in years. Why am I getting a bowling live? Tanner. Sweetheart, Tanner. You know you want to get back into bowling. You do. Deep down, somewhere in you, you're like, hey, I need to go bowling. I need to go buy a ball, and I need to go bowling. Tanner, we're here to help you on that journey. You're welcome. You are very welcome. Your For You page did the right thing here. Jonathan Grevlowski, is there a spot I could submit my Arsenal? Yes, my email. Go check out my email. Links are in my bios for that. And Ryan, is this bag good for college? You have an Ion Max, a level, a GB5, a physics blackout, an attention star, and an AI. So Ion Max, GB5 blackout level. Yeah, that is a really good arsenal. You have a more smooth balls compared to Pearl, which is the right play. It's overall a good play. Reggie Huey over on YouTube, consider going back from 16 to 15 due to leaving too many 9 pins. I would disagree. I mean, I don't think that's, I wouldn't go up and switch all your equipment. I would stick with your equipment, but I would just try changing a few physical things because you're very, very close. Lawrence, what do you think about the X in the Pit ball review format? Review after 50 games with league bowlers. I find that ball reviewers only throw the ball fresh out of the box. They're very tough though, because that's a long time and the hype for a bowling ball is only very early. So we're kind of in a lose-lose situation where people want to see the ball before they buy it and before it releases, but you don't get that many games on it. So I would love to see like league sets with the bowling ball or like just, well, I threw it 20 games in the last week. So you need people that bowl a ton to throw it. C-Lance likes the pro motion. A lot of people really do. A lot of people love that pro motion, which is crazy. They didn't like it immediately, but they like it now. Let's see. JD over on TikTok. JR, thank you for the follow over on TikTok also. What ball do you recommend for a former high average league bowler who hasn't touched the lanes in 10 years? I would start with something a little bit weaker. I would stick with like a Road Warrior or a Hammer Anger or something like that. Something shinier and middle of the road will be a good like step back into the game, really. Frederick Adam West. I have a Proton Physics and a Vibo. Next ball phase 2. Yes, absolutely. And Baby Meeks Elite. Cardinal Card Collector. Why am I the only one throwing Motive Sub-Zero Forge? You're really not. There are a lot of people that throw it. It's just hard to throw on house shots because it's so strong. So strong. Charlie Walker, I picked up the new special effect in Physics Blackout and love them. Hey, love to hear that. That is awesome to hear. Really good to hear that. Jared Grigg, two-handed Rev Dominant, bringing an Arctic Vibe, Black Widow 2.0, and the Eruption and a Spare Ball. And for League, anything I should swap? For League, I wouldn't. That's a pretty good combo of like shiny and smooth and weak and strong, so I think you're good there. Dondrick Ray, I'm still salty BJ lost last week. He's my second favorite bowler beside Prather. I think BJ Moore has some of the best physical game on tour. Hands down. He's one of the top tier pros in terms of physical game. Man, I got to slow down. I'm talking way too fast. I'm going to have no voice tomorrow. That's fine. Jess V. Boss. In your Belmo list was missing the trends 1 and 2 in the drive. Yes. Oh, the drive. I keep forgetting the drive existed. That is a ball that's kind of forgettable. It was okay, but I forgot that ball existed. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Anthony Novak, I do have a Discord. Go check out all the links in my bios for any platform, and you'll be able to find my Discord server. We have like 350 people out there, a lot of bowlers, a lot of really good talks going on out there. Dylan Anderson, I predict Belmo ball will be urethane. Oh, no, I will bet you on that, Dylan. I will bet you whatever you want that it will not be a urethane ball. 100%. 100%. Let's see. I do see Jackson Grenert on TikTok. The Belmo Storm Ball or a phase 2? I don't know what the Belmo ball is going to be. I'd go phase 2 for now, but ask me again in like a week and a half and then we can talk because we'll see then what it actually will be. Chris Vick got league starting in an hour. Got to get ready. Hey, thank you, Chris. Glad you're hanging out. Glad you're able to hang and watch with us and just talk all things bowling. David Castillo, any picks of the Velmo ball? We have a black and white like roll of the ball off of the rack, and that's all we have. That is all we have. Thor, do you know what Belmo is dropping? A bowling ball. I don't know what. We don't know what yet. Somebody did say there's a mass bias on the ball, which means it's an ASIM bowling ball. So it could be an ASIM. We do know it's limited quantity. So they're trying to limit how many are sold, and they're trying to limit, they're just trying to limit it in general. So be ready for that. They're trying to hit with FOMO, which is okay. That's marketing. So be ready for a lot of information to be thrown at you very, very quickly. Very quickly. Let's see. El Cremoso. I love that name. Storm Equinox or the IQ2 or AI. It kind of depends what you want to throw. If you want a bowling ball that's going to be a little stronger, go with the Equinox. Otherwise, the IQ AI will be a little later, a little bit sharper. All right, let's keep hitting some comments. Quick reminder, thank you guys for who's all hanging out so far. Make sure to subscribe or follow, helps me out a ton. Then you're going to get notified whenever we have good videos going up. Today we had a video about Bowler's Mart mystery ball bowling balls, mystery balls that you can buy. For anyone who didn't know, for $100 on Bowling World and Bowler's Mart, you can get a random bowling ball. Generally, they're discontinued bowling balls, to keep that in mind, or they are recent ones to come out, but I'd say about 85 to 90% of the time, they're Brunswick brand bowling balls. They're almost never Motive bowling balls. They're sometimes Storm balls, but not that often. And then there's like a 0.1% chance you get an overseas ball. Very, very rare shot of an overseas ball, but it is possible. So it is fun to do. For $100, that's not that expensive. That's cheaper than most balls on the market. And you are always going to get an okay bowling ball. For mine, I got a Brunswick Intense Mindset and a DV8 Chill Pearl. So they weren't bad. I drilled them last night. They roll better than I thought they would. That Chill Pearl is super angular. The Intense Mindset, super chuggy and rolly. Exactly what I needed out of a Pearl ball. So yeah, they were actually pretty good bowling balls. And I have 50 some bowling balls in total that I own. So they actually still fit gaps, which was cool. Hey, Don Clifton, what's going on YouTube? How you doing? How are you doing, man? Let's see. Anthony Garcia, Storm Equinox gets here tomorrow to add with the archetype in my phase 2. Nice. That's a good combo. I actually have my Equinox that I will be drilling up maybe Friday, maybe tomorrow. I have one ready for me. I just need to put holes in it. So I'm excited to see how the thing rolls. A lot of people love it. A lot of people adore that bowling ball, which is really, really cool. I love to see that. I'm actually going to go away from that page. There we go. Gary, top 3 discontinued bowling balls you'd like to see come back from the 3 brands. Ooh, if I had to pick a bowling ball to come back, we'll start with Brunswick brands. If I had to pick one, I would go. What would I go? Trying to think back of all the bowling balls they had. I would go the man, that's tough. I would go the original Hammer Web. The original Hammer Web would be my Brunswick ball to come back. I thought that one was really good. It was super wonky. It was like a stronger hybrid cover and a middle of the road core. So it was like a GB4 hybrid, but a little smoother. I thought that one was really unique at the time. Storm, if I had to pick one, I'd go the OG Physics. OG Physics would be my one to come back. I think that ball was just special. And I thought it rolled really good for a lot more people than you'd expect. So that would be that one. Motive. Trying to think of a lot of Motive balls that have come out that I thought should come back. Let's see. Venom Recoil was kind of fire. That one was really cool. I'd go Venom Recoil. I'll go Venom Recoil. That was like a black Venom, but a little smoother. So those would be my 3 to come back. Very biased because I threw all of those balls. Anthony Leck, Jackal Onyx is a beast. What is the best ball in your opinion to follow it up? I've been trying to find that. Effect Tour is my go-to right now, or the Phase 2. So I think a stronger, medium, and smooth bowling ball is the best ball down from it. Balrog joining my first league. Nice. That's awesome. Effect Tour, IQ, AI, and Spare Ball good enough? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you'll be A-okay with that. I see Ryan R. Have you thrown the new Equinox? I have not, but I will be drilling one probably this weekend or early next week. Everything I've seen for it, it's a really good fresh bowling ball, or if you can get it down lane, a better transition bowling ball too. It is overall pretty good though. A lot of people really like that thing. Rev Dude, I love the name. The RST Hyperdrive, would that be considered strong smooth? Yes, it would. Absolutely. Conrad Noonan, thoughts on the Obsession Tour Solid? It is basically just the Effect Tour Solid. I think it's a really cool and unique bowling ball, so overall, very, very good. Malachi Sadler, should I get my Black Widow Mania at a 15 or 14? You use a Tropical Surge, that's 13. I would recommend going to 15. I think 15 is the right play, but if you're a little nervous about it, 14 is okay too. They both hit the pins the same way. Alrighty, let's see. James D, is the Flare earlier than the Sub-Zero? Yes, Flare is the earliest reactive ball I've ever seen go down a lane. Rev Dude, your idea about adding bowling ball info to the PB show is a fantastic idea. Who do we talk to get you on the show? That would be perfect for that. Hey, if you guys know of anybody that PBA-wise that would want to watch that and take me up on this idea, let me know. Part of me was hoping that I would get an email of like, hey, Zach, we want to talk about your ideas a little bit, but nothing. I think it's a necessity to grow the sport. I think as an avid bowler who has a bowling content channel and bowls a lot, both competitively and recreationally for league, I don't like listening to the telecast that often. It's very unfortunate. I don't learn much. I have to learn stuff on my own of like, I need to figure out, oh, that he's throwing this, Tim Foy's throwing the stealth mode again. That's kind of cool. Or GB5. Ooh, what are the differences between these? Or wow, EJ Tackett is really the best bowler of the year by a landslide. So I would love to have a little more about the bowling balls for people at my level and people who are just starting. I think there's a middle ground you can hit, and right now they ain't hitting it. They are not hitting it at all, so I would love to help out in that way, but alas, we're just not big enough yet. So if you go hit the sub button, maybe. We are the fastest growing YouTube channel for bowling that isn't the fastest growing non-professional bowler channel. If you guys know of anybody, hit me up. I would love to talk to somebody about this. I think it's a great idea. I would love to see it happen, or I'd love to hear the reasons why it can't happen, because the goal is to grow the sport. Right now, the telecasts aren't growing the sport that well, unfortunately, because I love watching bowling, but I want more people to enjoy watching bowling. That's why we do this at the end of the day. Get more people into the bowling world. Let's see. All right, let's get back to it. That was Zach's little ranty rant. Average Yote, pluses and minuses of a urethane as a spare ball. The positives, you can hold one less ball when you go to tournaments, so you do have a urethane if you need it. Negatives, a urethane hooks a little bit. So you can't throw it the exact same as you do your regular shot because it will hook, versus a plastic ball will not. So if you have the space in your bag, I always recommend a true plastic ball. But if you don't, urethane's a good option. Scott Ogden, Hazmat Solid for $110. That's a really good deal. That's a strong medium smooth ball. It's basically like a Game Breaker 5 or a Phase 2. I think that ball is really good overall. Anthony Novak, your TikTok has a link tree. Yes, it does. Yeah, TikTok has a link tree. Couldn't find it on my YouTube. Do I not have link tree on my YouTube? I might not. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna make sure my link tree is on my YouTube. I thought I had it there, but I'll make sure. All right, handy dandy, tiny whiteboard. Link tree on YouTube. Okay, cool. Next, yeah, my other thing on the whiteboard is a bowling ball award show. I think that'd be kind of fun. Someone had that idea last week, so I'm running with it. Absolutely. JR, mix as a spare ball. Yes, I think the mix is a really good spare ball. And Tim, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think the mix is a really good spare ball yet. I think if you want the cheapest option, 100% go with the T-Zone, but mix is another great choice. And Ty Styles, thank you for the follow on TikTok too. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's see. Yofo, would you recommend a strong or versatile layout for the star? I go versatile, 100% versatile. I don't think you need strong on the star. The core is already really strong. It's the cover that holds it back a little bit. Sealance, Rack Attack. Ooh, that's a name I haven't heard in a minute. That ball was really good for being a weak ball. Really, really good. Dondrick Ray, I hope Brad Miller can make the TV show. I know he had a heck of a first day. Yeah, I didn't see where he ended up or if he's bowling right now. So let's check that out quick. Bowl.com. Let's see. USBC Masters. Where the heck did it go? There it is. USBC Masters 2025 results. And we have qualifying round 3. Miller, are there 2 of them? Brad Miller is in 17th right now. He had a really bad second block. And he had a pretty okay third block. So he made the cut by a lot. But yeah, he was kind of all over the place. A little unfortunate there. Yeah, hopefully he does. That'd be awesome. Janet, Zach, my phase 2 leaves me corner pins. How can I take them out? You're going to want to shine the phase 2 just a little bit. Throw it a little more to get some lane shine on it, and you'll be good. And born in 1500, he's done. Yeah, it looks like he went like 50 over for the third block, which is actually pretty good for that pattern. Actually really good for that pattern. He'll make it. Yeah, he's going to be real high up, actually. 17th right now, unless anyone can pass him. Let's see, where were we at here? Smitty emailed your Arsenal. Awesome. I'm way behind on my Arsenal, so I will be catching up on those. Don't worry about that. Ryan R., have you thrown the new Equinox? We hit. Tim, is the Spy bowling ball and Rotogrip Hustle good? Spy, I don't recommend. Rotogrip Hustles, yes, the Rotogrip Hustles are really good. I like the Rip and the the Rip and the M&M a lot. I think those are my 2 favorites right now. Will Clark, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Let's see. Charmaine, I have a Factor Tour. I was thinking about getting a special effect. I don't know what the Factor Tour is. If you meant Effect Tour, I think special effect fits really, really well with it. Don Clifton, how many Motive Evoke Hysterias do you think were sold in the last 2 weeks? All of them. Literally all of the Evoke Hysterias were sold in the last 2 weeks. However many were poured, that many. There were a bunch. Hey, Will Clark just got done bowling the Masters. Really? How'd it go? And yikes, the pattern looked stupid. It looked so tough. What were your thoughts? What are some takeaways from you, Will? What are a few of the takeaways that you've got? Let's see, where are we at over here? I see Ryan, a big BELMO fan. Have you heard anything about what it is? So the only thing I know is it's limited quantity, and somebody said there's a mass bias on it, which makes it an asymmetrical bowling ball. So that's what we know so far. Not 100% positive. We're not positive the ball that was on the teaser was actually the new BELMO ball. It could be, though. I could see him doing a mild asym ball like a Rubicon. Wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me at all. Ed is 320 speed dominant player, 320 rev, speed dominant, playing up the boards. You have an Attorney Pie. Drill recommendations, I'd go something super basic, like 4 3/4. I'd go like 55 by 4 3/4 by like 50. Luke Mines got the physics blackout and the hyperdrive. Hey, nice. That's a good combo. Cody Houston, do we have any clues we hit? Baseball, what would be a better plastic ball? BELMO Gold ball, or is there better? There's not better, but there is cheaper. Definitely cheaper bowling balls. The T-zones are going to be the cheapest. Let's see. William, do you think the new BELMO ball will be pearl solid or hybrid? I'm voting hybrid. I'm voting a hybrid. I don't know anything about that, but I could see it. Joel, were you around when that AZO brand was around? I was not. I was not at all. Oh, Will, it was a rough to say the least. Wish I could have bowled better. Had trouble with consistency most of the time, but good learning experience. Nice. What'd you end up throwing for bowling balls, Will? What looked good? Because I'm seeing a lot of different lines to the pocket. Some people are super deep. Some are super shallow. I think there was a couple urethanes that were out. What was your thoughts? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, The Rock is here. Thoughts on the Deviate Solid Troublemaker? And he throws a Troublemaker. All the Troublemakers were really good from Deviate. They were middle of the road / slightly weaker. Not weaker. That's a bad way to say it. Pretty much middle of the road bowling balls for hybrid, pearl, and solid. If you want to start an arsenal, that's the way to start it with one of those. All right, let's catch back up over here. Average Yo, you mentioned 15 pounds. I hear arguments of 14 versus 15. People say 14 is the same, but most use 15. I assume it has to be marginally better. No, the reason people throw 15 yet is it's easier to get. Companies pour more 15-pound balls than 14 because they sell better. So you're going to see people stick with 15 forever, and that's just how it'll be. It isn't really normalized yet to throw 14. So I think once it gets a little more normalized, you'll see it more. But yeah, they hit pretty much identical, basically. James D. Packy needs to replace Randy. I wish I would have heard the podcast a little bit. Or not podcast. I wish I would have heard the telecast a little because I was watching it at a tournament. I was getting smoked by a college bowler in a tournament. Shout out Dawson, you jerk, for beating me up. I actually could have beat him in the 10th and threw a not good shot, which was great, but I'm not salty. But I wasn't able to hear it, so I might have to go back and listen to Packy a little bit because Packy's really good at talking. Fantastic at talking. And Maribeth is here. What's going on? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Will, you threw on the burn an absolute, a Zen, a phase 3, and a journey. Okay. Some older storm balls. I like it. Scores were very low. Hey, that's all good. That is all good. Jameson, I saw you at a tournament in Owatonna. I was too afraid to say hi. Hey, don't worry about it. Do not worry. Yeah, I was at a March Madness this weekend. So if you saw me in the first 3 games, I probably wasn't the happiest because I could not score well. The last 2 games I did a little better. I went 85 over for the last 2 and still lost, which was great. A little unfortunate, but Brunswick vaporizes that ball. It's okay. Zach doesn't bite. Yeah, I mean, only sometimes. Hey. It was like 3 times, okay? Tim Yurchik, what are your thoughts on the spy we hit? Deaf Sound Guy. Equinox, Hysteria, and Mania all seem pretty close. Yes, very close. I have the Mania. Would either of the other 2 fit? No, I would recommend against the other 2. I think they're all very close together. Gandhi, Hysteria, or Effect Tour in terms of versatility. Hysteria. Hysteria is a little more versatile. The Effect Tour is a little more of a one-trick pony. It likes to do what it does, but when it doesn't do that thing well, it's terrible. So you really got to watch out for that. Lawrence Derby, hey, good evening to you too. Hello, hello. And Rev Dude, I cracked my outer limits solid. My spare shop can't get another 14-pound ball until they do the next run. Ooh. So he talked me into switching to a hyperdrive. I took the suggestions and I love the RST. The RST is good. That thing is really, really good. Oh, Will, I missed your first comment. My bad. Threw an RSTX1 on fresh that moved to the Helios. Ooh, you still have an old Helios. I like that. I like that. Hey, Dwayne Johnson, thank you for the follow. And Chris Vick, one last question. What does ZVL stand for? Those are actually my initials. Those are my first, middle, and last name initials. I don't want to dox myself fully. Also, Baseball, thank you for the follow. I don't want to dox myself fully, but if you just watch any of my videos, you'll see my last name. You'll see my last name all over. But I try not to dox myself too hard. Let's see. Gabe, what is the best angular ball for $180 or under? Road Warrior is too pricey. If you're going for before drilling, what is the Road Warrior? 160. If you just want a bowling ball that's under 180 before the drilling, Storm Road Warrior. If you want the best angular ball for 180 after drilling, what would that be? Maybe a GB4 hybrid. It's not very angular, but it's cheap. That'll be a little tougher. Rescue. Thoughts on the Rotogrip Rockstar? I think it's really good. I really, really like the Rotogrip Rockstar right now. It is, unfortunately, it's very close to the phase 2, so I'll really won't be buying one anytime soon, but I would love to throw one. It looks good. Let's see. Where are we at? Okay, we hit all those. We're actually caught up on YouTube. Awesome. We are fully caught up on the YouTube comments. Remember, we are doing full Q&A. We probably have another 10 to 15 minutes left. So if you guys have any more questions, please keep throwing them in the comments. I do see Jameson saying, what's your favorite 3-ball arsenal? Ooh. My personal favorite 3-ball arsenal right now is, I would go my phase 2, Zen 25, and low flare, Scorpion low flare. I think that's my 1, 2, 3 right now. That is, yeah, that's probably my top 3 right now. Is if I'm going to like league or something, that would be what I would bring as my like top 3-ball arsenal. Out of names, Max Thrill Pearl might fit. Max Thrill Pearl is also, yeah, that one's only like 110 or 120. before drilling, so it gets to 180 after. That would be a good call. Thank you, Out of Names. Appreciate that. Also, hi. Yeah, how you doing? What's going on? What is going on? Gabe is real. How's the Widowmania? Widowmania is really, really good right now. Much, much stronger. But it is pretty sharp, so that could be an option too if you want that. If you're that one's a little more pricey. That one's like 170, I think, or 160 before drilling, so a little pricier than some of the other ones, but could be a good option. Kyle MC, how often do you change your spare ball? Whenever I get upset with missing too many spares. Whenever it ends up in the bottom of a river. No, ironically, bowling balls end up in the bottom of bodies of water very quickly. Like, it's very common. Complete side story. Kyle, I will get to you in like 30 seconds. I gotta tell this story though. It's very funny. Like, there's a viral video going around right now from the Masters of a guy ripping his jersey. Like, he just fully rips it Superman style and it goes, and people are like, oh, how could you act like that? There are some of your favorite professional bowlers, some of them commentators now, who have punched themselves repeatedly during tournaments. And they have also thrown many a bowling ball into rivers and lakes. Many. There are stories on those. But yeah, bowling balls always end up in the bottom of rivers and lakes when people get upset with them. Usually spare balls. But no, in all reality, I would only switch your spare ball once it starts cracking. If it cracks a little bit too much around like the fingers, or it feels weird to throw, then I would recommend switching it out. Otherwise, you don't really have to that often. I know people who have the same spare ball from 20 years ago. Kyle, I'm gonna throw my current spare ball in the river. Hey, there you go. Or if you just missed too many. I did that last year. I was missing too many and I just needed like a mental shift. So I drilled out a new one and gave my other one away to somebody. And it worked, honestly. I was like, 3% on picking up 10 pins. I went up to 5%. It was great. It was great. It worked perfectly. Let's see. Gandhi, motive balls are good for no-thumb bowlers. Yeah, every brand will be good for no-thumb bowlers. Absolutely. Let's see. Captain Bugs, how are we feeling about the Zen 25? I feel like it's not talked about enough. I love mine. Absolutely adore mine. It is a very, very good bowling ball. It's the closest we've had to the OG Zen. It is getting overlooked, unfortunately, because there are so many balls in that slot. Like the Optimum Pearl shows up more on tour, and they're very similar bowling balls. So you'll see that one do a little better in sales, which is a little sad, honestly. Hey, Color, what's going on? How you doing over on the Twitch side? We are live on Twitch too, by the way. Rev Dude, is a Lethal Venom a medium smooth ball? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Don, PBA fryouts would be awesome. The problem is it throws a lot of people under the bus of like, because a lot of bowlers are absolute jerks when it comes to on the lanes, and then they're great outside of it. Thank you, Gabe, for the heart me. Appreciate it. So it'd be tough, but yeah, there are a lot of, I've heard stories of guys throwing 3-ball bags 10 feet into the air and letting them slam on the ground. I've heard holes in walls. I've heard balls shattering in parking lots. I've heard balls getting thrown off of parking lots themselves, like second or third floor. I've seen guys punch themselves a bunch. I've seen a little bit of everything. I've heard a lot of stories of a little bit of everything, which is kind of funny. All right, let's catch up over on TikTok quick. Tattoos by Ish used to bowl years ago, 220 average. What's a good ball to invest in? I'd go like a medium sharp ball. Scorpion Strike, Road Warrior, Max Thrill Pearl could be a good option. Something shiny I think would be a good step into the game again. All right, Brandon, I currently have a hammer obsession and I love it. Looking at the Hammerhead or the GB5, I would go Hammerhead. It's a little bit weaker and fits a little better with the OG obsession. Gabe 2 Trash, I heard he got arrested. I think that was a while ago, Gabe. That was like 5 years prior. I saw that too, though. Coda, I'm debating Motive or Storm for weak. Both work really well. I think both have good weaker options. So it's potato either way. Kyle MC, yeah, I love that. Coda, should you ever rejuvenate your spare ball? No, you do not need to. You do not need a rejuve, or you do not need to detox your spare balls or your urethanes. So plastic and urethane do not absorb oil. They actually keep it on the outside of the bowling ball. So what you need to remember is like your purple hammer, do not detox it. You never have to. It doesn't absorb oil. It stays on the outside of the ball. However, reactive bowling balls, you do. So keep that in the back of your head. So never rejuve a spare ball. It won't do anything. It'll just make the ball warm and that's it. Yep, Gabe hit it perfectly. Awesome. Speed Shahid, opinion on the Ion Max. I think it's one of the best strong bowling balls in the game today. One of the better ones. All right, let's see. C-Lance is now over on Twitch. Love to see it. Welcome, C-Lance. Tattoos, bold years ago. Yeah, we hit that one pretty well. Let's see. Colin Destiny wanted to ask, would the IQ AI work for the current bag you have? Phase AI, phase 2, and a journey. It'll be weaker than both the AI and the 2. So if you need a ball weaker than that, yes, absolutely. Gabe 2 trash. Any tips for state? Usually state tournaments are on easier patterns. So bring your league shot bowling balls. Just in case they put out more volume, have a strong and smooth ball width. And then usually state, you have to score pretty high. So be ready to strike a lot. Try to focus on hitting the pocket a bunch, and then you should be fine. Let's catch up back over on TikTok or on YouTube. Bart Builds. Good morning for the other side of the planet. Hey, Bart, what's going on? C-Lance picked up a third LT48. Wow, that's an oldie. Zachary Potter just used some 5-year-old equipment that's been sitting for 3 years and had very little reaction. That'll happen. If it sits for too long and even the older stuff, it just doesn't roll well. That's been my problem with a lot of the older bowling balls. Like I had an old Daredevil that I picked up late. It never hooked. It hooked for like 5 games and then it stopped. Bart Builds of the Tour Dynamics, a weak smooth ball. I'd say weaker end of medium smooth, Bart. Yeah, exactly what you said. That's what I would say. Kyle Umaha, good evening. What's going on? Gandhi, do you own a pro shop? I do not own one, but I do work at one. I've been working at a pro shop for about 6 years. Let's see. Joey Bravo. I can't believe the subject came up. We threw our new bowling shirts in the garbage can last Thursday. We finished first twice, second, and sixth once. We were in 25th, so it was the shirts. Hey, I had people who did the same thing last year or a couple of years ago. Some tournament team guys I saw from a different team who, right when the season was done, if the tournament team was not working and they knew they were splitting up, those shirts went in a garbage very quickly. It's always kind of funny. Jordan B, my dad's getting older, speed slowing, low rev rate, but probably rev dominant now. He has a polished blue hammer, drilled kind of neutral, but he lines up, but even lined up, left hooks hard. His blue raw hammer hooks a lot. You're going to have to go even weaker with like a pearl raw hammer. That'll probably be your next best play. C-Lance more active on Twitch. Oh, perfect. Sweet. Love to see it. Lawrence Derby, what are your thoughts on the lethal venom to replace your NV Tour? It'll be a little bit weaker, but a similar ball reaction. So I think it might actually be pretty decent for you. Let's see. Brandon on TikTok. What is a step down from the Hammerhead? I would have said Scorpion Low Flare. May it rest in peace. I actually got a new one. I have a fresh one that I can drill that is going in my stash. I'm super excited about it. Ion Pro honestly is the only one. Ion Pro or a Max Thrill Solid from Motive. Those are your only two. Brunswick doesn't have any balls below a Hammerhead. Joseph NIN, does this apply to the tank or Zen-U? It does. Zen-U, yes. Tank, no. The tanks do absorb a little bit of oil. Mark Carpenter, how often should I clean my ball? I would, if you don't wipe off the actual oil from it after every couple shots, I'd recommend every night after league. But if you wipe off the oil from it, you don't have to do that often. Coda Bowling, the new Supra or a Max Thrill Pearl? For slightly rev dominant, I would go Max Thrill Pearl. I think it's better overall. Fox Savage, favorite ball right now is the Optimum Idol Pearl. Hey, it's good. The Pepto-Bismol ball or the Bubblegum ball. I like Bubblegum ball better. But yeah, I love the pink of that ball. It looks so good. This is a fun one. Choreo, if you were a bowling ball, name, cover stock, ASIM, sim, and color. So I did a live, I don't think Maribeth is here anymore. She's not, but I did a live stream with her when I was out in Pittsburgh. She's a collegiate bowler, first Storm junior staffer, has a billion accolades, one of the best youth bowlers on the East Coast. Don't tell her I said that. And I made sure to check again to make sure she's not here to hear that, because it just goes to her head and we can't have that. But I did a live stream with her and somebody said the same thing. And I think they called me a phase 5, which I'm okay with. That is like the nicest thing somebody could call me was a phase 5. I have one in the closet that I probably should pull out and start throwing again, though. That ball was actually pretty good. Gandhi, buying a new in Bowlers Mart or local pro shop in Boston. I always recommend buying from a local shop because I work at one, so we like the sales to stay open. Bowlers Mart is like the Amazon of bowling, but at the end of the day, pro shops make their money on the drilling, not on the ball sales. Let's see. We are at BJS. What type of ball is the Belmo ball? We are potentially assuming that it's actually an ASIM, which is kind of cool. It might be an ASIM. We don't know about Pearl Hybrid or Solid though, so a lot more to come next week. We do know it's limited quantity, which is interesting. Now, I don't think that means there's going to be like 300 of them and they're gone for good. I think we're going to have a while. What's the reason for it being limited? To boost sales, Anthony. So Motive did this with the EJ bowling balls. They've done every EJ ball has been limited release. However, sometimes the limited release is like 2 months. Sometimes it's like 8 months. Like the EJ Venom was still in production for a really long time. I think it still might be actually. Let me look. Motive EJ Venom. It's not discontinued yet. You can still purchase it literally everywhere. $160, which is it, can you get it for 15? You can't, oh, it's out of stock. It might be gone now. The Venom EJ has been out for like 8 months and it might finally be gone. So what it means is that, they're just trying to boost sales. Like it's like the McRib for McDonald's. Wow, what's going on Twitch? You joined in at a weird time. We're talking about the McRib now. Where the McRib is awful, hot garbage, absolute trash, but it always gets sales because it's limited. So anything limited always has higher sales than anything not limited. That's something always to remember. This isn't making noise, is it? No, we're good. So that is why they're doing it. Boost sales a little bit. TLDR of that whole situation. Also, La, what's going on? Still perpetuating the lie that bowling balls don't grow naturally with pre-drilled holes, I see. Hey, if people think so, I mean, no one's found the bowling ball trees that I have, so it works out well. We're good. We're fine. Until somebody finds that bowling ball tree in my tiny 1,000 square foot apartment, then we're screwed. All right, where are we at? Gabe True Trash, are you on any staffs? I am not. I am not staffed with any ball company, so all of my opinions are as unbiased as they can be. Probably some of the more unbiased opinions for bowling on the internet, because most people are on staff with someone. Even if they don't say it, a lot of them are. Box Savage, how much do you like the Absolute Power? I love the Absolute Power. I drilled one. It rolls really good. It rolls just like a Phase 2, though. So it's very similar to a P2. Box Savage, I call it the Barbie ball. That's a good name too. Bubblegum ball, Barbie ball, Pepto-Bismol ball. The Pepto ball doesn't really work well. It just it doesn't give the right vibe to it. Not even close. Hey, I love McRibs. Joey Bravo, we need to have a come to heart here. We need to have a heart to heart, a soul to soul talk. No, you don't. You don't, do you? There's no way. Nobody loves the McRibs. They're terrible. Shamrock Shake, goated. Like, that's fantastic. But McRib, no, there's no way. Right? Hopefully. Those things are so bad. So terrible. Coda, what's the bowling look like for Belmo? I don't know how Belmo's bowling. I should actually look. Oh, I think I could have actually just clicked. Oh, no, I can't click. I broke the link. Bowl.com again. Can Zach find the USBC Masters list? Jason Belmonte is currently in, 10th place. All right, cool. He is 250 pins over. That guy is so dumb. He's so good. I hate that. So stupid. All right, where are we at? Pepto-Bismol from Don. Boo. Don, also, I think limited edition sounds better than being discontinued after 6 months. Exactly. They give it a little more leeway for if they discontinue it after 6 months, they're like, hey, it was limited edition, so who cares? So, yeah, it's honestly a smart marketing move at the end of the day. Honestly, very smart. Anthony, what SPI ball should I add to my arsenal? I forgot. I didn't have Twitch open. Oh no, creator dashboard. There we go. Have I missed anything on here? C Lance with the follow and Born for the follow. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. What SPI ball should I have? I have Optimum Idol Solid and Tension Star. I'd go Road Warrior, Anthony. I'd go Road Warrior. Smitty, you and the hype are the best for new ball information. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, and he's also unbiased because he just drills everything. He, like, minus the swag stuff is the only, like, question mark because Bowler's Mart does own swag now, basically. But yeah, otherwise he's super unbiased too. Let's see. Josh Castle Rock, Phase 2 or Attention Star. Both are great in different ways. If you want a better house shot ball, go Attention Star. Fizz 514, Pepto Bismol. Yep. God. I love that, guys. Good job. Gabe 2 Trash. Who's your GOAT bowler? Belmonte. Easy. Belmonte of all time. This year, EJ by a landslide. Where are we? Oh, I missed Kyle over on YouTube. My bad. Do you think the Intense Mindset and Harsh Pearl are comparable? Not really. I think the Intense is a lot later and sharper than the Harsh Pearl. So I think they're close, but not exactly. John, for a spare ball, is the mix worth the extra money? They're pretty much identical at the end of the day. They're very, very identical. So I mean, the mix is technically shiny urethane, so it's a little pricier. It might crack a little bit less, but potato, potato again. Very similar. Gandhi, thank you for your valuable time and your knowledge. Absolutely, Gandhi. I've learned a lot from you. Love from India. Hey, thank you for following. Really appreciate you hanging out all the time. Brandon, thank you for the follow on TikTok too. Delivery to Joe. I love the McRib and I hate PSL. I'm happy to announce I've just become your nemesis. How? What? Oh, the McRib is terrible. Joey, my wife says the same. She can't believe I love them. No, they're awful. They're so bad. I can't believe you guys like them that much. Need Pepto after McRib? Exactly, Ken. It's terrible. Absolute terrible. STJ, Pitch Black, Purple Hammer, or Black Hammer to add for sports shots? Purple Hammer. 100% the Purple Hammer. All right. We're going to go last call on questions. We'll have one or two more questions, and then I'll be calling it a night. Bowling Brian, another great live. See you next week. Hey, thanks for hanging in, Brian. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So last call for any questions you guys have. We'll go another couple minutes. Brandon, is the Black Widow Visiball worth the price? No, go with a white dot. Go with a white dot. Much cheaper, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to hook less too, which is what you want from a spare ball. You don't want a spare ball hooking too much at the end of the day. That is the last thing that you want. Also, make sure to follow and subscribe if you haven't yet. If you're new here, really appreciate it, both on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. It'd mean a ton to me. We go live once a week. We have a lot of cool content coming out all the time. Smitty, Purple Hammer is one of the best balls of the last 20 years. I would say it is the best ball of the last 10. I would. And user, any new info on the bowling ball manufacturer championship points? Yes. I do not know how they're calculated, but we do have yes, I do have it. I got to pull it up on Instagram though. So bear with me for a second. Let's see. PBA Tour. Where are we at? That is not it. There it is. All right. 2 days ago, Motive is on top, 51,000 points. Storm is getting close at 45,000 points. Brunswick is next at 33. Global is right behind him. Then Hammer, Rotogrip, Deviate. At the very bottom of the barrel is Ebonite. So the top 3 bowlers at a tournament get a lot more points than everybody else at the tournament. So EJ winning so often and Edval winning and Santu winning is why they're on top. Storm is on top because of a lot of other stuff. They get a lot of seconds and thirds. They don't get many firsts. So that's why they're so high. Brandon, thanks for the info. You are welcome. Josh Glass, good ball for late hook. You're going to want something like a road warrior would be really good for that. Ale, how much was the mystery ball? $100. It was $100. If you want a specific mystery ball from a different brand, you're going to have to go with a $150 mystery ball. I don't think that's as worth it though. That's just their way to try to snag a little extra money because you don't get great bowling balls either way. You're not getting a Jackalonics or something that often. Let's see. We are at Rev Dude. Great show. Hey, thanks, Rev Dude. Tokyo, I just got here. See you next time. Sorry, Tokyo. Rev Dude, what time does your show normally start? I start at 6 p.m. Central Time, so it's a little unfortunate for the guys on the West Coast. I do need to do a few where I go live a little bit later for you guys, but yeah, it's 6 p.m. Central. Scott Ogden, thank you for the advice. Hazmat ordered. Low flare, I love, but cracked. Oh, no, I'm sorry about that. That's unfortunate. Charmaine, you skipped me. What'd you say? My bubblegum ball does not work the way it did in the beginning. What should I do to it? I'd recommend sanding it again and then repolishing it is going to be your best play. Christian Roberts, maybe it'll be the Storm Typhoon. So that's what I was thinking too. But apparently that ball is not the same color. Apparently the new one everyone's saying is a little brighter, and that Typhoon that they show is a darker color. So it could be, honestly. That's what I thought it would be at first. Coda Bowling, did you see a guy bowled 800 with a T-zone? I did. That was wild. That was so cool. I wish I could find an actual video of it because I think that would be awesome. But yeah, that's super crazy. Ken Mania 3.0 Idle Pearl New Blue T-Zone. Any adds or changes? I actually like it. You have a stronger arsenal, but if it works for you, that's awesome. I wouldn't get any more ASIMs. I'd get a symmetrical ball next. Josh Glass, you have a Rotogrip Hyped. That's a pretty okay ball. It'll be a little smoother down lane than some other ones, though. Shannon, what do you think about Belmo's new ball to be released? I'm excited for it. I like a lot of the Belmo balls. I actually have a Journey coming in tomorrow that I'm going to be drilling up. So I really like a lot of the Belmo balls, but I'm curious to see what it is. They're hyping it up a lot. Its limited release makes me intrigued a little more. So excited to see what it'll be. Henry Swan, thoughts on the new Evoke? I think it's one of the best bowling balls on the market right now. Coda Bowling, it was his first one too. That's crazy. That's so cool. I love when people get their first 800 or 300. It's so awesome. Coda, I don't know where the Journey would fit. It's kind of like a Zen 25, but a little bit longer and sharper is how I see it. It's just a weaker Zen 25. Let's see. Warren Hill, Motive Venom or the Hammerhead? I like them both a lot. I don't think you can go wrong with either. Yeah, that Ripple hits it pretty well. There's literally 4 Venoms. I'm assuming you're talking the Lethal Venom because that's stronger. But if you mean Venom Shock, go with the Venom Shock. Matthew Zerudo, are the Optimum Idle Pearl and AI too similar? No, not even close. You can definitely have both. Ken, what do you think about adding the Rockstar? I think the Rockstar would fit well for you. It's a step below that Black Widow 3.0. So I think that fits really well. Shannon, what do you think about the new Outer Limits? It's okay. It's best from straighter, and it doesn't like angle that much. So if you bowl straighter, it could be a great option. And it looks awesome. Super cool looking bowling ball. All right. Shanga, have you thrown the stealth mode? I have not, but I threw the original stealth, and I really liked that one. So I think the stealth mode looks to be nearly identical to it, which is good. That is a really, really good sign. All right, but we are going to call it a stream on that. That is going to be our final note. Thank you guys all for hanging out. Make sure to follow, subscribe, like the video one last time if you can. It helps me out a ton. Make sure to follow. We have a lot of cool content coming out. Tomorrow, let me look what we have going live tomorrow because I honestly already forgot, which is terrible. Let's see. YouTube. We have, drum roll please. Oh, our Rotogrip core and cover guide is coming out tomorrow. So Storm, Roto, and Global had cover and core guides come out. So tomorrow is going to be Rotogrip's guide that we're going to make, that we have a video on. It's like a 10-ish minute video. We also have a video explaining the Bowler's Mart mystery balls. If you want to go check that out on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, would really appreciate it. The video is doing really well right now. A lot of people are liking it. So I'd love if you can go and hang out, go check it out. That's one of the best ways to support the channel. The more you can support the channel, the more videos I can make. We are up to 4 videos per week right now. We were at 3 for a long time, but because of a lot of the views and everything and the growth, we bumped it up to 4 videos per week. So I really appreciate if you can go check us out on all platforms. We do have a Discord channel, a Discord server if you want to go check that out. We have an Instagram, we have a TikTok, we have a YouTube, and we have a Twitch also. Ton of ways to go connect to the ZVL bowling community. I mean a lot if you could check them all out. But with that, we are going to call it. Thank you all so, so much. Really, really appreciate it. Coda, when are rating arsenals? Live, hearing about others. I will have one within the next week. It's going to be about 40-ish minutes. I have a lot of arsenals to go through. So I'm hoping to knock more out this weekend when I have a little more time. So that is going to be all of that. TikTok, we're going to say goodbye to you first. Thank you so much, TikTok. I will see you on the next one. See you later. All right, and TikTok's gone. It's just us, YouTube. And YouTube, Thank you guys all so much. This was the most viewers we've ever had on YouTube. Thank you guys all. We are one of the largest live streamers on YouTube right now, and I don't even show bowling content during the live streams, which is super, super unique. So I'm really glad you guys enjoy these sit-down Q&A hangout sessions. If there's any other content you guys want to see, please hit me up. Please let me know. I'd really appreciate it because this is your guys' channel. I want to help you in any way possible. So if you have other ways to do that, please let me know. Either DMs, comments. I read every comment you guys have, every DM. But other than that, I'm going to send you guys to a stream ending page. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out. We are live Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Central Time. So I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.